So yeah, so I lied. I said that first I'm back home. Well, home for now, I guess. And we are going to be working on some more stuff. I'm happy to be streaming again. This is great. A couple things. First time using cursor, it's all the rage. I want to check it out. I said that I was going to be really kind of leaning into AI a lot to help me write this project, which is fun. And everyone's using cursor. I got the free year cursor through work. So we're gonna check it out, see how it works out. So I told you I lied. I said that this next episode is gonna be a planning session as we do Empire, but I've really been reflecting on my Agile workflow, and we want to do smallest things possible. And so I decided that I want to. The next step is to kind of have the core game mechanic, where every day at a certain time, background jobs are created, so that a thing goes. So what can we do that is measurable, that is a small step possible? So I think that if I'm gonna have a background worker do all this stuff, I want to actually do something that I can track. So I wanted to increase the how much money you have. The player has based on population through tax rate. So we got to add tax rate. So if we're going to add tax rate, we also have to go edit tax rate. So that leads to a new thing where what I want is to have on first, the Empire needs a tax rate attribute. That's going to be something attribute. Next, because of that, we are going to on the dashboard have a manage Empire button, which will take us to the update Empire page or edit Empire page. And that will let us change the Empire name, and it will also let us change the tax rate of the Empire. So that's what we're working on today. I've created a branch for us. We're using cursor. We're going to see how that goes, and we're going to TD this. So the first thing we have to do is we have to add a tax rate to the Empire model, right? That's going to be things. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the test. I'm going to try to type so slowly so I don't make any mistakes. And really kind of take the time. Let's see here. Oh, why are my key buttons not working? Come on. Let's check this out. Extensions. Why aren't you working? Oh my gosh. How I enable Vim mode? We have to do this. We're gonna have to do it the old way, I guess. Oh God. All right. I don't know how to make that work right now. We're not gonna worry about it. That's fine. I'm just gonna run. That looks good. Yeah, it looks like unchanged, right? So validation test. The first thing we're gonna do is that we are going to add a validation. Oh. It should validate numericality of just autocomplete, but this is going to be tax rate. Only integer is greater than or equal. Only integer, right, is greater than equal to 0, is less than equal to 100. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. So we're saying that it's got to be between 0 and 100 because you can't have a tax rate greater than 100. You can't have tax rate, can't give money. Well, I guess you could give money. I guess you could have a negative tax rate, but we're not going to, like pump money into the economy. But like that is beyond the scope of what we're doing here, right? Cool. All right, so since we're having a default resource value, expect empire tax rate, to equal 20. When I said empire tax rate of 10%, 20% as being the default. Fantastic. All right, so next up we're going to create a migration. Rails generate migration, add tax rate to empires. Add tax rate to empires. Tax rate integer. Cool. Let's take a look. Cool. Add column empires. That's the table. Tax rate is column we're adding integer, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a default 20. Cool. That looks good. We are going to run the migration. Cool. And then from here, we are going to add the validations. I'm like, this cursor is pretty good. Like, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And now I have to type that, but I'm going to recheck what it does. Validates tax rate numericality, only integer true. Yep. Greater than equal to 0, less than equal to 100. That is exactly what I wanted. Next up, we're going to update the factory for our testing. Tax rate 20. Let's move there. I feel like the association. It's going to be good. Cool. So let us run the test. RSpec, spec, models, empire spec. Cool. That all passes. And so let's commit that. Stage all changes. We'll let AI generate the add tax rate validation migration. Yep, cool. Next, that's fantastic. We know that's working. I'm not going to be concerned about the coverage being that percentage right now because we just ran the one model test and that's not going to check everything. I know I don't have 100% testing on other stuff yet because there's some weird, I haven't tested one strange edge case and the cookies part, and I don't really want to get hung up on that. And so I'm going to save that for later and deal with that later. Cool. All right, next up is that we want to create a feature test for empire management. So features, new folder, empires, new file, manage empire spec. Oh. Cool. And I'm going to copy and paste in a test that I had AI generate for me. Oh, I named this wrong. Cool. And when we finish this stream, I'm going to fix my bindings. So we're creating a user, creating an empire in a star system, right? We have to create the user first because the user is going to belong, Empire is going to belong to user, and we're creating a star system, so forth. Before we do, we're going to log in the user scenario. User can see the tax rate on the dashboard. We're going to be able to access the Empire management page. I'm just going to have a test Empire with the tax rate. Change the update, yeah. I want to add this. Expect page not to have content test Empire, right? We want to make sure that that's gone. Cool, and the same thing here. Not to have content 20. Cool. Can I update with Empire name? It can be blank, cool. All right, that looks good. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the routes. And I'm going to get rid of that stuff, right? Wow, thank you, cursor. Making things easy for me, right? Because we're going to need to edit, because that's going to be the page we edit stuff on. We're going to need to update, that's going to be what updates it. And now we're going to need an Empire's controller. Cool. Why is this not detecting it as a Ruby file? Because there's a space at the end. Cool. We'll do this and edit is going to be current user at Empire. Update is going to be if Empire, Empire can user Empire. If Empire update Empire params successfully render. Let's do this. Else render edit status unprocessable entity. Right, and we are going to do a private. You knew what I was going to do. Require Empire permit name tax rate check. Cool. User Empire. Yeah, that looks good. Let's make the edit view model. So that's going to go under views. We're going to need a new folder. Empires, new file. Edit.html.erb. And I'm going to copy and paste this from. It's AI generated because I don't want to deal with writing HTML, CSS, because as you can see, that's annoying, large. I'm going to take a quick look at it though. Empire error messages, fantastic. Form width, label, number field, cool, that looks good. All right. Cool, that's the edit page. We are going to, it's going to revert to dashboard path. Now we're going to upload, need to do the dashboards to have that button, right? And so we are going to throw this in here. I want this to be between the first section. So why is this green? Manage Empire. Empire edit class. We'll see if it works. Cool. Oh no! Unable to find field tax rate. Oh, that is a tummy. Okay, so Empire Spec. Open to the right. So what we're going to do is no, shit. I want to see what it actually is, right? I think that's trying to fill in tax rate, but the form's something else, so. So let's just do this one. You can't find the tax rate field, so we're going to run just this test and only this test. Cool. So this is the key test. I can't find the field tax rate, right? And so, you know what? I think that let's see how good this AI. Ooh. Window, view. Add context. We're going to do edit.html.erb. Empire spec. Let's see this. My test cannot find the tax rate field in the view. What is it called? So I can change the test appropriately. That is not helpful. Let's try this. Okay. Let's run the test. Ooh. So that's fine. That looks like it's working. I'm going to move this over here. And so I'm going to copy and paste this because we're going to use this over and over again. Fill in. Empire. Take away, save it on the page. Looks good. Yeah. Cool, it all works. Fantastic. Love it when a plan comes together. So let's run it, let's test it. Ooh. Poop. Well, let's make one. Becky at Becky.com. No. You know what? I should probably make a user. All right. Becky at Becky.com. Password. Yes, use this password. Oh man, this is gonna be. All right. Cool. We got this button here. Oh, could use some more space down there, but I don't really want to deal with spacing right now. Actually, let's see if we can edit index. Actually, let's do this. Let's. I am not good at this. I don't want to mess this up. Let's take away the manage empire spec. Edit. We are going to add the index to this. Can you add a little space below the tax rate so it's not right next to the systems? Cool. Let's save that. Nice. Nice. looks good. Manage Empire. 15. Manage Empire. Glorious Republic of Bekistan. Nice. Yeah. That looks, I'm real happy with that. That's fantastic. That works out. Cursor's pretty good. I need to figure out how to enable Vim settings in Cursor before we do the next video. Next video, we're going to implement Sidekick background workers and figure out how this all works. But thanks for watching. I'll probably do this later today. Take care.